what's happening around the world and what's happening here at home. A very good evening and welcome to Weekend Primetime News. I'm Sandro Ferdinando. Let's take a look at your headlines for tonight.
Ice found in mid-Deniya chemical samples. Dangerous Drugs Control Board confirms. Bako Saman's accomplice remanded until the 24th of September. Colombo Central bus stand to be modernized after 60 years. Nepal's new Prime Minister vows to return governance to Parliament within 6 months. India-Pakistan T20 cricket clash today in Asia Cup.
Starting off with news here at home, tests conducted by the National Dangerous Drug Control Board have confirmed that a majority of the chemical samples found buried in a land plot in Thorakolaya area of Mid-Deniya contains the drug ice or methamphetamine.
The stash of chemicals was found buried in a plot of land in Mid-Deniya on the 5th of this month, following interrogations of organized criminal Bako Saman, who is currently in detention. After raiding the location, the National Dangerous Drugs Control Board collected samples of the chemicals. The National Dangerous Drug Control Board confirmed that the report on these samples was handed over to the Western North Crimes Division last Friday. The tests revealed that 17 out of the 20 samples taken contained the drug ice or methamphetamine. Meanwhile, similar stashes of chemicals were found in the Netolpitia and Kandana areas. The National Dangerous Drug Controls Board stated that samples from those locations are also being tested, and the corresponding reports are scheduled to be submitted to the Western North Crimes Division next week. Over the past few years, there have been increasing reports on the use and seizures of the drug ice in the country.
What is this alarming situation on the use of the drug ice in Sri Lanka?
The first reported incidents of methamphetamine or ice use in Sri Lanka dated back to 2017. Since then, the drug appears to have spread rapidly across the country. In 2024, a total of 228,450 people were arrested for drug-related offences nationwide. Of these, 68,132 arrests were specifically related to the drug ice. This means that nearly 30% of all drug arrests were linked to the drug ice or methamphetamine. Research on use of the drug ice in Sri Lanka has revealed that the highest number of users are young people between the ages of 19 and 26.
What are the dangers posed by the use of the drug ice?
This drug goes directly to the brain. It goes to the brain and causes changes in the activity of the central nervous system. If you look at the immediate physical changes it causes in the user, there is an increase in heart rate, an increase in pulse, an abnormal increase in body temperature, sweating and dry mouth. It also causes fluctuations, a state of excessive sleeplessness for long periods, and a sudden loss of appetite. Sometimes there is a feeling of not being able to control one's body, the inability to properly manage and handle one's own body. With long-term use, teeth decay, teeth and lips turn black, skin starts to flake off, and skin becomes very thin and wrinkled. The beautiful appearance a person has is instantly destroyed. The circulatory system and respiratory system begin to break down rapidly.
රුධිර සංසරණ පද්ධතිය ශ්වසන නාල පද්ධතිය බිඳ වැටීම් වේගයෙන් සිද්ධ වෙන්න ගන්නවා කායික වශයෙන්.
What is the mental impact of using this dangerous drug?
අධික තරහ ඇති වෙන අසාමාන්‍ය බිය හා
There is extreme anger, abnormal fear, and what we call delusional thoughts, or a very frightening and anxious experience as if someone is about to harm you. Abnormal manic state occurs. To be honest, there is a feeling that this life is empty and a person's intentionality to commit suicide increases. The person becomes very old looking for their age. They get to a state where they can't get sleep. The feeling of sexuality completely disappears. Love, compassion and kindness instantly disappear. They descend into a state of sadism. A person who uses ice becomes marginalized in society. The drug ice can be identified as a drug where addiction and abuse happens very quickly.
දුර්භාවිතය හා ඇබ්බැහිය කියන එක වේගවත්ව සිද්ධ වෙන මත්ද්‍රව්‍යයක් විදියට අයිස් හඳුනා ගන්න පුළුවන්.
An accomplice of organized criminal Bako Saman, who is currently in detention, has been arrested in Suryawava. The arrest was made during an operation conducted by the Tangol Criminal Investigation Division.
Police confirmed that a 9mm pistol, narcotics and a van that were in the suspect's possession were impounded. The police had also discovered a bank account in the suspect's name with 3 million rupees. The suspect is a 39-year-old resident of the Savanagal area. Meanwhile, another accomplice of organized criminal Bako Saman, who was arrested in the Abilipitia area, has been remanded until the 24th of this month. This was after the suspect was produced before the Abilipitia Magistrates Court. Police also took into custody a T-81 firearm, 2 magazines, 97 rounds of ammunition and a military camouflage uniform that were in his possession. According to police, the 29-year-old suspect was arrested in Gangayaya and Abilipitia. What is the Samagi Janabalabega saying about the discovery of large stocks of drugs and the arrest of drug traffickers connected to it?
දැන් පරීක්ෂාවට ලක් කරලා නිදහස් කරපු එක.
If a container that was inspected and released had ice drugs in it, what must be in the 320 plus containers that were never inspected? We are now hearing that no report will be submitted on this. It is said that those uninspected containers had cocaine, ice, drugs, weapons, bombs and even some LTTE-owned weapons. Now they are claiming that no ministers told them to release the containers. However, the deputy minister at the time very clearly revealed to the entire country in front of the media that they were the ones who gave the order to release these to ease congestion. So who is taking responsibility for this? Releasing over 300 containers is a very dangerous situation for the country's security and everything else. This government must take responsibility for it.
කන්ටේනර් 320 ගාණක් නිදහස් කිරීම. ඒ පිළිබඳව වගකීම මේ ආණ්ඩුව බාර ගන්න ඕන.
National People's Power Member of Parliament Manoj Rajapaksa says that there was a time when instead of catching the real drug traffickers, the authorities searched the school bags of children.
අපේ රට තව ටික දවසක් ගියා නම් මේක මත්ද්‍රව්‍ය වලින් වැහිච්ච රටක් බවට පත් වෙනවද නැද්ද?
If things had continued for a little longer, would our country have become a country overrun by drugs? Yes, it would have. I remember a while ago, they tried to stop drugs in our country by searching the school bags of our children. The real problem was elsewhere. But they showed the people that they could control drugs by searching the school bags of school children. That's what you call a spectacle. While they were doing that, we suspect that they gave plenty of room for drug traffickers to operate in our country. Today, as the current government, we are properly investigating these drug traffickers and the networks associated with them, and we are preparing to take legal action against the culprits. That is the responsibility that the people entrusted to our government, including President Andrew Kumar Dissanayake. It's more of a task the people of this country gave us than a duty of our own. That's why we have to act through a legal framework regarding this matter. We will continue to do that.
ඉතින් ඒක අපි ඉදිරියට කරගෙන යනවා.
National People's Power Member of Parliament Chandana Suryarachi says that a drug racket this dangerous and at such a large scale could not have been operating without the knowledge of the political authority in Hambantota.
It's very clearly stated in the report from the Dangerous Drugs Authority that the chemical compounds necessary to manufacture the drug ice are present in these substances. This has also been confirmed by the media. Therefore, it's clear who had the authority in the Hambantota district during that time. This kind of things couldn't have happened in Hambantota back then without the knowledge and blessing of the former political authority. It's not possible now, and it wasn't possible back then without their knowledge. So it's very clear what kind of things the former political authority in the Hambantota district and the group around them did within that area to destroy this country and our next generation. And as these things are exposed and confirmed day by day, the opposition is now trying to obstruct the government's progress. These actions of the opposition are irrelevant to us.
ආණ්ඩුවේ ගමන බාධා කරන්න ඉතින් අපිට ඒ බාධා අදාළ නැහැ.
News First with the people.
President Anura Kumara Dissanayake will depart for the United States on the 22nd to attend the United Nations General Assembly session.
During the official visit, the President is scheduled to engage in bilateral talks with leaders from several countries. The President is also scheduled to hold discussions with the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres. Following his visit to the United States, the President will depart for Japan on the 26th for a state visit at the invitation of the Japanese government. On the 27th, the President will attend the World Expo International Trade Exhibition. During his visit to Japan, the President is also expected to hold discussions with high-level representatives of that country.
Taking a look at one of our top stories for tonight, the project to modernize the Petta Central Bus Stand under the Clean Sri Lanka initiative will be inaugurated tomorrow by President Anura Kumara Dissanayake. This is the first time the Central Bus Stand has been modernized in over 6 decades.
The Colombo Central Bus Stand was declared open in 1964. On average, between 1,500 and 2,000 buses operate from this bus stand daily. Nearly 100,000 passengers also use these facilities on a daily basis. Passengers and CTB employees alike face significant hardships at the bus stand. The main reasons are the lack of proper maintenance and the failure to upgrade the facilities provided.
මේ වාඩි වෙන්න පුටුවක්වත් නැහැ දැන් හරියට ඒ කාලේ ගත්තුව කියන්නේ ඉතින් ඊට පස්සේ තාම කිසිම මේක රිපෙයාර් එකක් කරලා නැහැනේ.
This is the current state of the employees' dormitories.
ජරා ජීර්ණ වෙලා මේ කාමරවල ඉන්න බෑ. টয়ලට් එකේ වතුර කාමරය ඇතුළට එනවා. ඒ මට්ටමට උනේ. මේ රජයේ මේ දේ කරන එක ඇත්තටම ලොකු දෙයක්. මේ මකුණනේ හැම එකම මකුණ.
අපි ආවම පස්සේ ඉතින් සේවය මෙතන නිමා වෙලා නැවත යනකම් පැය 8ක් 12ක් මේකේ තමයි ඉන්නේ අපි.
දැන් වල
The government expects to spend approximately 425 million rupees to transform this dilapidated bus stand into a passenger and employee-friendly environment. The modernization and construction work will be carried out by the Sri Lanka Air Force. Under this modernization program, the central bus stand is set to get several new facilities, including a new restroom, a new cafeteria, ticket counters, and an employee's dormitory.
සතුටුයිනේ මේ වගේ තියෙනවට වැඩි ඉතින් හොඳයිනේ ඉතින් තවත් අලුත් දෙයක් වෙනවා
දැන් මේක තනකර විනාශ වෙලා තියෙන්නේ මේ රජින්වත් බලලා මේ වැඩේ කරන එක හොඳයි ඇත්තටම හොඳයි.
Due to the renovation project, all CTB services except for the integrated schedule services will temporarily operate from Bodhiraja Mavatha. A road that was blocked by temporary constructions was also recently opened after about 16 years, providing easier access to the new bus terminal. The buses operating under the integrated schedule will run from the private bus stand along Bastion Mavatha.
The Bodhiraja Martha, where our services will operate, is simply put behind the main bus terminal. You know that the Bastion Martha section is in front of our main bus terminal, and our private buses also operate from there. We will be operating our services for the route 87 from there, according to integrated schedules. These two locations are easy for you to identify. If you face any difficulty, please call our telephone numbers.
වේදුරන් වැඩේ හිතන්න දෙන්නේ වැඩේ හරියට වෙයි ඉස්සරහට. මන්ට කරා යනවාත් එක්මන්ට කරනවා වැඩේ.
ගොඩක්ම හොඳයි. ගොඩක්ම හොඳයි. යන මේ වැඩ පිළිවෙල නම් හොඳයි ගොඩක්. මහා ජනතාවට ලොකු සේවයක් වෙනවා ඉතින් මේකෙන්.
This modernization project is expected to be completed next year.
We hope to complete this project in 1 year. This means that by next New Year, passengers traveling back to their hometowns will have the opportunity to use a new bus terminal with new facilities for their journeys.
පර්යන්තයක සිට ගමන් පහසුකම් සකසා ගන්න අවකාශ සලසලා තියෙනවා.
The modernization of the Maradana railway station will commence tomorrow under the patronage of the President as part of the Dream Destination project to modernize 100 railway stations across the island. The initiative aims to enhance public facilities, create a sustainable transportation system and make stations more environmentally friendly, comfortable and safe. The first phase of the program began with the modernization of the Gaul-Thalpe railway station. The project aims to strengthen public confidence in the railway service while actively sustaining its operations and promoting tourism. In parallel, several initiatives will be introduced, including the installation of bell and light warning systems at unsafe railway crossings. Plans have also been made to modernize the Maradana railway station without compromising its historic value.
Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya says that the presidential fund that was used for the benefit of a privileged few is now being used 100% for the benefit of the general public under the current government.
The program to recognize students who achieved high marks in the GCE Advanced Level Examination implemented through the Presidential Fund was held at the Kandy District Secretariat Auditorium. Top performers at the exam from the Central Province were felicitated at the event.
මේ රටේ පැවතුණු ඒ ක්‍රමය තුල පුරවැසියන් වෙනුවෙන් ඇතිවෙච්ච වරප්‍රසාද සහ සේවාවන් බහුතරයක් අවභාවිතා වෙලා තියෙනවා වරප්‍රසාදිත කණ්ඩායමකටම තව වරප්‍රසාද ප්‍රතිලාභ ලබා ගන්න.
In the system that existed in this country, the privileges and services created for citizens were largely misused. A privileged group continued to get more privileges and benefits. That's what happened for a long time. The Presidential Fund was the same. So today, we are happy that the Presidential Fund is being used for its true purpose. As another step in digitalization, the Presidential Fund is now closer to the people of this country with a method that makes it easier to obtain benefits from one's own village, rather than having to travel to Colombo and fill out a bunch of papers. What our government hopes for is to change and develop our country into a place where all services that citizens are entitled to are provided to them easily, without them having to struggle to get these services.
අපේ රට දියුණු කරන්න තමයි අපේ රට වෙනස් කරන්න තමයි අපි මේ උත්සාහ කරන්නේ.
අපි මේ රටේ ආර්ථික සමාජීය දේශපාලන
We have brought about and are continuing to bring about an economic, social, political and cultural transformation in this country. When you look at the economy, the country has become stable for you. If we look at the tourism industry as of today, in the first 6 months we have earned a revenue of $1.7 billion with over 1.4 million tourists visiting. By the end of the 8th month, over 1.6 million tourists have visited and the revenue is $2.03 billion. In the first 8 months of 2024, the revenue was $1.88 billion. Therefore, there is a significant increase. Throughout history, my dear sons and daughters, the highest number of tourists to visit Sri Lanka was in 2018, which was 2.3 million. Our target is to reach 3 million. We are also receiving foreign remittances. For the first time in history, we have received a higher amount of foreign remittances in the first 6 months of this year compared to the first 6 months of last year. That amount is $5,116 million. Similarly, the revenue we earn from exporting has also increased compared to last year. Next, we have FDIs, foreign direct investments. In the first 6 months of 2024, it was $253 million. In the first 6 months of 2025, it is $507 million, a 101% increase. The revenue of the excise department in the first 6 months is 120.5 billion rupees. The customs revenue exceeds 1,400 billion rupees. Institutions that were not profitable are now making profits. These are the preliminary signs that your future is being secured.
මේ ඔබේ අනාගතය සුරක්ෂිත වෙනවා කියන එකට පෙරමං සලකුණු.
Minister of Plantation and Community Infrastructure Samantha Vidyaratna says that the government's goal is to earn $6.5 billion from key export crops by 2030.
The 35th annual general meeting of the tea factory owners was held in Colombo with the participation of Minister of Plantation and Community Infrastructure Samantha Vidyaratna and Minister of Industries Sunil Handunnetti. Dr. Ali Riza Delkosh, the Iranian ambassador to Sri Lanka, also attended the event.
There is no political stability in the country. This country is rapidly becoming stable. The economy is recovering. The law is being fairly enforced on everyone. Due to this, the amount of investment is gradually increasing. You can also now do business and industries with confidence. In that context, we have a strong belief that we can achieve future victories in the tea sector. We have already developed a strategic policy plan for the tea industry. According to that 5-year plan, we have set a goal for the tea sector to earn $2.5 billion for the country by 2030. The coconut sector is given a target of $1.5 billion, while the rubber sector is given a target of $2 billion, and the target for cinnamon is $500 million. When you add all this up, we expect to bring in $6.5 billion to the country from the main plantation crops by 2030. The role of the government is not to do business. The role of the government is to provide facilities for those who do business. We have currently planned to dissolve 33 nominal institutions. Some institutions were established in the past. Chairmen and directors were appointed, and money was paid from the treasury. Nothing is happening. For example, the Sri Lanka Cement Corporation under my ministry is just a name. There are a large number of such nominal institutions. A large amount of money is being wasted in the country. They pay rent for land taken from the private sector. We are saying these should be small and efficient, and that is why we have brought in the digitalization program.
Iran and Sri Lanka enjoy a warm relationship rooted in history, mutual respect and shared cultural values. Our relation is not limited to the trade, but extends to cultural exchange, education, tourism and people-to-people connections. At the economical level, our cooperation spans energy, agriculture, textiles and increasingly tea. Iran has long been a loyal consumer of Ceylon tea, and Sri Lanka has consistently supplied high-quality tea to meet Iranian demand. According to recent statistics, in the first 4 months of 2025, Iran imported nearly 10,000 tons of tea, of which a significant share came from Sri Lanka. Despite global challenges, Sri Lanka remains among the top suppliers of tea to Iran. Working together, we can access third country markets, leveraging Iran's gateway and transit capacity to Central Asia and the Middle East and European countries, and Sri Lankan established presence in Europe and beyond. The people of Sri Lanka, like the people of Iran, are heirs to an ancient culture and civilization. In our culture and in your culture, peace is a valuable heritage of humanity. Peace is value, while aggression is a counter-value. In these difficult days of war, as the strategic Middle East countries are witnessing the flames of conflict, we hope that peace and tranquility may visit every home, and that there will be an opportunity to share a cup of tea. Without having peace in our homes, in our offices, in our workplaces, we cannot sit around and have a cup of tea. Let's ask Almighty God to have tranquility and peace for all countries, especially in Asia.
Newsfirst, main sponsor.
A trusted place for your fixed deposits. Valuable FD, 10.25% for 15 months, 11% for 24 months. Valuable FD, the symbol of stability.
Continuing with more local news, the dates for the local examinations for the next year have been announced.
The Ministry of Education announced that the 2025 GCE Ordinary Level Examination will be held from the 17th of February to the 26th of February 2026. The 2026 GCE Advanced Level Examination is scheduled to take place from the 10th of August to the 5th of September. The Grade 5 Scholarship Examination for the year 2026 will be held on the 9th of August. Arrangements have been made to hold the 2026 Ordinary Level Examination from the 8th of December to the 17th of December.
The fire at the Balangoda Non-Peril Reserve continued to spread throughout yesterday. The fire that broke out in the Balangoda Non-Peril Reserve the day before yesterday continued to spread yesterday as well. The fire had broken out near the Sirasa site in the Non-Peril Reserve. The police stated that the fire continues to spread further. The fire has destroyed nearly 1,000 acres of the reserve so far. Our correspondent said that the Ratnapura District Disaster Management Unit and the police are working to control the fire. The police stated that it has become difficult to control the fire due to the prevailing wind conditions. Meanwhile, an Indian national was arrested for attempting to smuggle a consignment of Kush cannabis worth over 80 million rupees into the country at the Bandar Naik International Airport today. The suspect arrived at the Bandar Naik International Airport at around 9:45 a.m. yesterday and remained at the terminal ahead of his return to Madurai, India. According to the Police Narcotics Bureau, officers grew suspicious of the suspect's luggage and a search conducted with a police canine named Randy led to the discovery of the drugs. Authorities discovered 8 kilograms and 542 grams of Kush in the suspect's luggage. Meanwhile, an airport security officer was taken into custody by customs officials after being found with 51 gold biscuits, each 24 carat, valued at approximately 210 million rupees. The 54-year-old officer was attempting to leave the airport through a staff-only exit while concealing the gold biscuits on his person when he was apprehended. US and Chinese officials began talks in Madrid today on their strained trade ties, a looming divestiture deadline for Chinese short video app TikTok, and Washington's demands that its allies place tariffs on China over its purchases of Russian oil. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer arrived shortly before Chinese Vice Premier He Lifeng and China's top trade negotiator Li Chenggan at the Baroque Palacio de Santa Cruz, which houses Spain's foreign ministry in the Spanish capital. The talks mark the fourth time in 4 months that the delegations have met in European cities to try to keep a fractured US-China trade relationship from collapsing under President Donald Trump's tariffs. The delegations last met in Stockholm in July, where they agreed in principle to extend for 90 days a trade truce that sharply reduced triple-digit retaliatory tariffs on both sides and restarted the flow of rare earth minerals from China to the United States. Trump has approved the extension of current U.S. tariff rates on Chinese goods totaling about 55% until the 10th of November. Trade experts said there was a little likelihood of a substantial breakthrough in the talks hosted by Spain, which has sought to improve ties with Beijing in recent years. Sushila Karki, Nepal's interim Prime Minister and former Chief Justice of its Supreme Court, has said that she and her team are not interested in power and would hand over the country's responsibility to a new parliament within 6 months. Addressing the media after taking charge as interim Prime Minister, the 73-year-old Sushila Karki, Nepal's interim Prime Minister and former Chief Justice of its Supreme Court, said, quote-unquote,
"My team and I are not here to taste power. We won't stay for more than 6 months. We will hand over the responsibility to the new parliament. We won't succeed without your support." Unquote.
Karki praised the nationwide Gen Z protests against corruption that toppled the KP Sharma Oli government in Nepal and said those killed during the agitation would be recognized as martyrs. She announced a compensation of 1 million Nepali rupees to the families of each victim. She said that the interim government would bear the treatment costs of those injured and also help them financially. The interim Prime Minister flagged cases of vandalism and said that the government will investigate them and also compensate those who have suffered damage to their property. She said that Nepal was going through an economic crisis and the interim government's priority would be reconstruction and economic stability. According to foreign media, the number of deaths in the recent protests has climbed to 72. This includes 59 demonstrators, 10 prison inmates and 3 police officers. Sri Lanka kicked off their 2025 Asia Cup T20 cricket tournament campaign in style, defeating Bangladesh by 6 wickets in a dominant Group B clash at Abu Dhabi last night. The match marked a confident start for the island nation as they chased down the modest target of 140 with 14 balls to spare, and all matches of the 2025 Asia Cup T20 cricket tournament are being broadcast live on TV1, the official local broadcasting rights holder, and streamed on www.sirasatv.lk. Opting to bowl first after winning the toss, Sri Lanka's pace attack struck early, removing both Bangladeshi openers in the first 2 overs without a run on the board. Despite a steadying effort from Jeka Ali's 41 and Shamim Hussein's 42, Bangladesh could only manage 139 for 5 in their allotted 20 overs. Star leg spinner Wanidu Hasaranga led the bowling figures with 2 for 25.
Sri Lanka.
In reply, Sri Lanka lost Kusal Mendis early for just 3 runs, but opener Pathum Nissanka and Kamil Mishara took control of the chase. Nissanka played a composed knock, registering his 16th T20 international half-century and becoming the fastest Sri Lankan to reach 2,000 T20 international runs in terms of innings. Kamil Mishara, playing with confidence and maturity, contributed a valuable 46 of 32 deliveries. Together, the pair ensured Sri Lanka maintained a healthy run rate throughout the innings. Despite losing 4 wickets, the team comfortably reached the target in just 14.4 overs.
Sri Lanka win by 6 wickets in their opening game. Kamil Mishara 46.
First I was told to take time and adjust to the conditions. Pathum also reminded me to just play my natural game. I was initially selected for the Zimbabwe tour and used that as an opportunity to understand how to build an innings and adapt to different wickets. The plan today was clear: bat deep and finish the game. I'm happy I could execute it, and I hope to continue this form whenever I get the chance.
Meanwhile, India took on Pakistan in the Asia Cup today at the Dubai International Stadium. This match is a Group A fixture in the tournament. In the history of the Asia Cup, India and Pakistan have faced each other 19 times. Out of these, India has won 10 matches and Pakistan has won 6. 3 matches have ended without a result. All matches of the 2025 Asia Cup T20 cricket tournament will be broadcast live on TV1, the official local broadcasting rights holder, and streamed on www.sirasatv.lk. That's a wrap of primetime news on TV1 for tonight. But we leave you with our special segment, Beautiful Sri Lanka, which will take you to another stunning part of this beautiful island. Good night.
Beautiful Sri Lanka.
Located near the 5th mile post area along the Badulla Passara Road, Mevasa Falls is a truly enchanting sight. It begins its journey from the peaks of the Namanukula mountain range. adding to the natural charm of the Badulla town, where Vessa Falls draws many visitors eager to witness its beauty. The best part, you can enjoy the stunning view right from the roadside. We'll be back again with more glimpses into the hidden gems and breathtaking landscapes of Sri Lanka.